As calmness returns and Nigerians gradually adapt to the cashless economic situation in the country, the Central Bank of Nigeria has reiterated that only the old 200 naira note is being reissued and it will continue to circulate along with the redesigned 200, 500 and 1000 naira banknotes until 10th of April in line with presidential directive. Meanwhile, the CBN Thursday held a media parley in Lagos on the use of a USSD code for eNaira onboarding to facilitate transactions for everyone, both the banked and the unbanked, making the use of cash less necessary. We have details of this and more coming up shortly. Stay with us. On Tuesday, the Central Bank of Nigeria issued a statement to debunk a fake press release purportedly from the bank making the rounds to the effect that President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the reissuance and release of old 500 and 1000 naira notes as legal tender in the country. The press statement, jointly signed by the CBN Deputy Governor, Corporate Services, Mr. Edward Adamu, and Director, CBN Corporate Communications Department, Mr. Osita Nwanisobi, affirmed that the CBN is sticking to the presidential directive to reissue only the old 200 naira note and to circulate concurrently with the redesigned 200, 500, and 1000 naira banknotes until 10th of April, when the old 200 naira note will cease to be a legal tender. The bank has therefore advised the general public to ignore such fake news. Unstructured Supplementary Service Data (USSD) is a GSM communication protocol that is used to send text messages on mobile phones. It is also being used to carry out financial transactions in place of physical cash. The Central Bank of Nigeria has partnered with mobile network operators on the use of a dedicated USSD code for eNaira onboarding as a reliable option for carrying out daily transactions in place of cash. The bank organized a media parley on Thursday to create awareness and further enlighten the public on this. Here's the report.
Ever since the central bank digital currency eNaira was officially launched by President Muhammadu Buhari on October 25, 2021, the Apex Bank has been collaborating with critical stakeholders at different stages of its development to make it accessible to both the bank and the unbanked. This event is as a result of such collaborations. Champs Mobile Limited and Super Agent has developed enhanced services that make eNaira easier to set up and make usage possible even without having a bank account by just dialing the code *997*50#. Mr. Bayo Akintoye is the founder, CEO, Bonnet Platform. He explains how the eNaira USSD code works.
Yes, the enhanced service is a layer above the service that is provided by CBN on the *997# USSD string, which is provided by CBN. So the enhanced services is *997*50#. And what it does is, beyond the services that CBN provides on its own string, which is basically for you to get onboarded onto the eNaira, for you to transfer peer-to-peer, and some administrative operations like changing your PIN, things like that. We provide a layer of service to address peculiar Nigerian circumstances and situations, and one of it is the unbanked, the underserved. Okay, so the eNaira is ideally you're supposed to swap your money in the bank account with your eNaira wallet. So I have money in my bank account, you take it out, the bank will take it out and exchange it with an eNaira wallet. But what about if I don't have a bank account? I go to an agent and I give the agent the cash and he puts the money in my wallet. What if I don't want to go to an agent? What if I don't want an agent to know about my transactions? I can buy a recharge card. That's what we do. You buy a recharge card, a voucher with a value, just like you are loading your phone, you load the wallet with that value, and we provided that service. So you can do it remotely for people. You have your your people in the village, you can actually load somebody's wallet from here and buy recharge, or you can send it as a gift, or you can just buy it and do it later by yourself. This gives you the opportunity to be able to do everything on your wallet by yourself without depending on an agent or the bank over the counter. So it gives you full control. It's democratization of the tokenization of that money into your wallet. Also, in beyond that, we also do peer-to-peer transfers on our platform, but different from what CBN does, where you will need to have, I will need to know your account number, your wallet number, which we call the new band number of your wallet. When you open a wallet, there will be a new band number that is sent to you, communicated to you. But on our own wallet, you don't need a new band number. All we need to know is your phone number. So I have a list of people on my contacts with phone numbers. I can easily send them money without even knowing their account number, without even asking them for account number. People are more comfortable with phone numbers. People recognize phone numbers. People are more identifiable with phone numbers. They have them in their contacts. You have it on top of your head. Your number, you can easily recite it to me, other than trying to memorize a new number. So that gives an opportunity for our masses to easily be adhered or to be endeared into the use of the eNaira on the US bank. And then the third is the cash out. People are like, okay, I want to move my money. I don't want it to always sit in this wallet. Can I move my money to my bank account? Can I move my money and let it become cash back? Yes. So we provide a service where you can cash out your wallet into your bank account, or you need cash immediately, you can cash it into an ATM that you can go to and get the cash without even having a bank account in that ATM or having a bank card. This is the one I call the ARM, where you just be money is just coming to you, and this is a simple technology, and we have mastered it, and we are providing that to the to eNaira users. So this is the eNaira enhanced service that we are talking about. On our platform, you can register as an agent. We have agents, growing number of army of agents called the eNaira extension workers. They do more than selling the vouchers and making profit out of it. They also advocate, they also help people, they also educate people, and that is why this is what we need to make the eNaira penetrate into the interlands. A lot of education needs to be done, a lot of advocacy, like we are doing now at this program, needs to be done so that people can get endeared to the eNaira, they can understand it, and they can adopt it.
CBN Director, Information and Technology Department, Mrs. Rekiat Mohammed, represented here by Ontaro Abdulkadiri, praised Bonnet for coming up with the homegrown innovation, emphasizing that the eNaira was introduced to support the traditional banking ecosystem and not to replace it.
As is today, we are able to transact on the eNaira with 4 methods. You could scan to pay, you could use your wallet ID. That's when you're on board on the eNaira. It gives you a 10-digit number, and of course you could use the USSD string, and that USSD string *997# is available for everyone with a mobile phone. So the voucher is based on a product introduced by Bullnet. The organizers of this event is the USSD string *997*50#. With that, people are able to follow the procedures there and effectively either cash in or cash out from their onto their eNaira wallet. And I think they're actually introducing cards, recharge cards. That way you can get the value for the amount you would like to have in your wallet. And so you would wonder, why should I take cash to buy a scratch card and then load it into a wallet? Why? The truth is, the eNaira brings a lot of features. Number one, your settlement is instant, meaning that you get value for your money instantly. The transaction is swift, no network failure, no reverse transaction or truncated transactions. And somebody was asking about security with the eNaira. The eNaira provides all of the solutions and introducing more. I can assure you or guarantee you.
A businessman and president of Balogun Business Association, Mr. Oscar Odogu, believes that eNaira will be very useful to traders, promising that his association members and other business people will be encouraged to onboard.
Cashless actually is the way to go. So we the traders actually who will do our best to key into the program. As we are trading on currencies actually. But we'll do everything possible in order to sensitize our people to let them know the importance of using the eNaira. It will enhance trade and as well curtail theft because we don't have to be moving around with Nairas again. It has to be on your wallet. Yeah, you have to operate through your phones, through your laptops. And to me, it's a welcome one with the traders. We will surely accept it since it is the way to go in the country. And in advanced society, is cashless. So we will be able to oblige.
Still on the CBN cashless policy, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, on Tuesday, 14th of February, met with members of the diplomatic and consular mission in the country at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The meeting was meant to, among other things, provide contextual realities that shaped the policy decision and illuminate future expectations.
The cashless policy started in 2012 under my predecessor. Between 2012 or between 2014 and now that I've been governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, we had made at least 5 reversals at our attempts to really deepen cashless and improve the level of financial inclusion in Nigeria. The reason we did those was because we felt that there was a need for us to deepen a payment system infrastructure. And I know and we have facts to support the fact that the payment system infrastructure in Nigeria is amongst the best 6 in the world today. So we believe that we have put in place enough infrastructure that will help us attain or achieve the cashless policy that we do aim to attain in line with global best practices. Secondly, we aim to increase financial inclusion in the country by reducing the number of the unbanked population. Thirdly, our aim is to support the effort of our security agencies in combating banditry and ransom taking in Nigeria through this program. And we can see that the military are making good progress in this important task. In the last 5-6 years, we have Central Bank of Nigeria came up with a policy where we said that banks must report what is called suspicious transactions. Suspicious transactions, once there's cash transactions or even electronic transactions that go beyond a particular threshold, banks must report them as suspicious transactions. And what happened is that when suspicious transactions are reported by banks to the NFIU, the FCC and ICPC are obligated to pick those suspicious transactions and investigate them. But of course, what we found is that in the course of investigating them, those who felt that they were being investigated for those suspicious transactions began to abandon the banks and began to build vaults in their homes. That is the reason we've seen currency outside the banking industry at 2.72 trillion out of 3.23 trillion. Generally, currency design policies are designed by countries to strengthen the performance of key macroeconomic parameters and equally combat social improprieties. Chiefly, it is expected to reduce the amount of cash in underground and illicit economy, truncate activities of racketeers, and obliterate rent-seeking businesses in the black market. By reducing currency outside banks, it will shrink money stock and accordingly lower the long-run path of inflation. The ensuing deflationary pressure could elicit interest rate cuts that will, in short to medium term, boost economic activities, spur aggregate demand, and enhance output growth. Macroeconomic impacts of currency design are multidimensional and could seem uncertain, especially at this early stage when its inconvenience is widespread. By spurring more people to use bank accounts, this policy will further increase bank account ownership and increase the use of accounts by enhancing people's saving behavior. It could encourage some hitherto informal business operators to formalize the pattern of transactions and adopt more formal settlement channels.
Thanks for staying tuned. You're watching From the CBN, a weekly program that brings to you reports and expert analysis of the actions, policies, events, and economic initiatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. Latest report from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that inflation rate in Nigeria rose to 21.82% in January, a 0.47% increase when compared to the 21.34% recorded in December. This slight uptick in inflationary pressure justifies a tight monetary policy stance maintained by the CBN Monetary Policy Committee at its last meeting. Here's a flashback to the January MPC meeting press briefing question and answer session, where the CBN governor spoke on inflation, ways and means, and stamp duty.
The first question says that that we've seen inflation dropping for the first time in almost about 10-11 months to about 31.34% by December, and whether this is a positive enough sign for us to expect inflation to trend lower in the coming months. Our response here is that yes, we're happy that some of the policies that we've introduced in the last couple of months in our attempt to rein in inflation are beginning to yield results. Not just about plateauing, but also beginning to drop. But Monetary Policy Committee members feel that a 10 basis points drop from 21.47% to 21.34% is just not good enough as a reason to begin to celebrate. That's year on year, but on the basis of month-on-month CPI, we still found out that inflation was still going up, both the headline and all that. On year basis, we saw food coming down, but at the same time, we still saw core inflation moving up. For us, it is not time to celebrate yet. MPC believes that, and you could see from the communique I read, we said, of course, loosening, and we use the word in the meeting, throw loosening into the Atlantic Ocean. Hold, well, keep it in the dustbin and let's watch. But of course, for now, it is tightening. The issue, therefore, was, to what extent should we tighten? Should we begin to say because inflation had begun to trend downwards that we should moderate the rate of tightening? Or that, listen, this is not enough sign and that we should remain aggressive? If you recall, rates were aggressive in 2022 for the last 4 meetings. The first one was 100 basis points, the second one 150 basis points, the third 100, and the fourth another 100. But those who felt that there is a need for us to remain aggressive felt that with inflation at 21.34%, it's already hurting growth and is moderating the level of output that we would have seen if inflation was within our own target range. You know, these days we have not even been able to talk about a target rate of between 7 and 10%. And at 21.4, there was no how inflation, we can begin to celebrate that inflation at 21.34% is good enough for us to begin to taper and the rest of them.
Good afternoon, Mr. Governor. My name is Leah Katumba from the Nigerian Television Authority. I have two questions for you. The first is the debate around the ways and means borrowing, which the National Assembly is already trying to intervene or sort of chart some course. Can you provide us with a form of clarification on what the true picture is? And secondly is another issue that has been in the news, stamp duties. If you could give us an update on it. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the central bank is banker to government and also a lender of last resort to government. Since 2015, when this administration came on board, we have seen two recessions. We have seen, at least, aside from recession, global crisis, at least two. We have been confronted COVID-19 pandemic. We have seen situations where at some point in 2020, crude price came down below $20 a barrel. Revenues from crude sales dropped badly. We feel as CBN, because we are a lender of last resort, that it will be irresponsible for us to sit idle. It will be a dereliction in our responsibilities and duties as lender of last resort to ignore the government and allow the economy and our Nigerians to suffer. Ladies and gentlemen, what we did by lending to government as banker and lender of last resort is normal in any part of the world, particularly when countries face crisis. Any central bank, any Fed will do what we have done. So that is why I'm appealing to those who are exaggerating the import behind ways and means to please take it easy with us. Take it easy with us, and I believe by the special grace of God, since the president has written to the National Assembly, they will eventually give approval and CBN can now securitize this. That is the story on ways and means. Now on stamp duty. The truth is that the CBN will not be joined in any argument with anybody because it will overheat the system. The report that we have in CBN is this. Is 370 billion 686 million 315,505 naira 28 kobo. Out of that, FIRS has disbursed through FAC, or Ministry of Finance has disbursed to FAC 226 billion 451 million 720,158 naira 88 kobo. And the balance in the account in CBN is 144 billion 234 million 595,346 naira 40 kobo.
That's the package from the CBN this week. You can report unresolved banking issues to the CBN Consumer Protection Department using the email cpd@cbn.gov.ng. Attach relevant documents. Call the CBN Contact Center on the phone line +234 700 2255 226. Local rates may apply. Write to us through the email address fromthecbn@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter for updates and to watch up-to-date episodes of the program. We invite you to join us again next time. I'm William Missy Dada. Stay safe and bye for now.